I'm 99 years old, and I tried to disappear without leaving, not in the way people think. I didn't pack a bag. I didn't walk out of my home in the middle of the night. I didn't write a note. I stayed. That's what makes it harder to explain. I stayed in the same house, sat in the same chair, woke up at the same time every morning, and still, slowly removed myself from everything. People think disappearing is loud, that it comes with some kind of breaking point. But mine didn't. It came quietly. So quietly, no one noticed. Not at first. I live alone now. Have for some time. The house used to hold more sound, voices, footsteps, doors opening and closing. Now it holds echoes, not real ones. The kind you feel more than hear. At 99, you don't lose everything all at once. You lose it in pieces. People move away. Friends pass on. Children get busy. And the space around you grows without asking permission. At first, I filled that space. I kept routines, called people, visited when I could. I made sure I was still part of something, but slowly. I stopped, not suddenly, just gradually. I told myself I was tired, that I needed rest, that it was okay to stay in more. And it was, at first. There's a comfort in quiet when you choose it. But there's a difference between choosing quiet and becoming it. I didn't see when that line was crossed, I just know. One day, my phone stopped ringing as often. And I didn't notice right away because I had already stopped reaching out. That's how it begins. Not with being forgotten, with stepping back, just a little, then a little more, until people adjust, until your absence becomes normal. I remember the first time I ignored a call. I looked at the phone, let it ring, watched the name disappear, and I told myself, I'll call back later. I didn't, not that day, not the next, and after a while, there was nothing to return, no message, no follow-up, just silence, and I accepted it, easier than I thought I would. That surprised me. How easy it was to become less present. I started canceling things, small plans, simple visits, nothing important, I told myself. They would understand. And they did. That's the thing. People are understanding until they adapt. And once they adapt, they stop expecting you. I began speaking less. Even when I was with someone, I would listen, nod, let conversations pass through me without holding on to them. It felt lighter, like I was carrying less of the world, less responsibility, less involvement. But there was something else too, something I didn't name at the time. A kind of fading, not physical, something deeper, like I was slowly stepping out of the frame of my own life. I remember a visit from my daughter. She sat across from me, talking about her day, her children, things that mattered. I listened, smiled when I should, but I didn't add much. And after a while, she paused, looked at me differently, and said, "You're very quiet these days." I nodded, said I was just tired. She accepted that, because it made sense, because it was easy to believe. But that wasn't the full truth. I wasn't just tired, I was withdrawing, piece by piece, from conversations, from decisions, from connection, and no one stopped me, because I didn't make it obvious, I didn't announce it, I didn't say, "I'm leaving in my own way." I just stepped back. Until there was less of me to notice, I stopped sharing things, even small ones, what I ate, what I thought, what I remembered. It all stayed inside, unspoken, unused, and over time, it felt like those things didn't matter anymore. If no one hears something, does it still hold the same weight? I'm not sure. By the time I realized what I had done, it had already settled. My world had become very small. Just this house, these rooms, this chair, and the thoughts I kept to myself. There's a moment I remember clearly. It was late afternoon. The light was soft. the kind that makes everything feel slower. I was sitting here, and I tried to think of the last meaningful conversation I had. Not a greeting, not a short exchange, something real, something that stayed with me. I couldn't remember, and that's when it hit me. Not suddenly, not like a shock, more like a realization that had been waiting patiently. I hadn't been forgotten. I had made it easier for people to forget me by disappearing in small ways, by choosing silence over presence, distance over connection. I thought I was protecting myself from disappointment, from loss, from the effort it takes to stay involved. But what I was really doing was removing myself before anyone else could. That's a different kind of loneliness. Not being left, but leaving, without going anywhere. Now, at 99, I can see it clearly. There was no single moment I could go back and fix. No big decision that changed everything. Just a series of small choices, each one harmless on its own. Together, they became something permanent. I still have people. My daughter still visits. Sometimes. The phone still rings. Occasionally. But the connection is thinner now, like something stretched too far. It hasn't broken, but it's not what it used to be. And I understand why, because I let it become that way. If you're listening to me, I'm not telling you this to make you feel guilty or afraid. I'm just telling you how easily it happens, how quietly you can step out of your own life without realizing you're doing it. You don't need a dramatic reason. You don't need a big event. All it takes is choosing distance often enough, choosing silence often enough, until one day, that's all that's left. I don't know how much time I have now, not exactly, but I can feel it. In the way the days move, in the way my body slows, and in this quiet space, I think about something simple, something I didn't think mattered before. Presence. Just being there, fully, even in small moments, even in ordinary conversations. Because those are the things that keep you part of the world. I thought disappearing would make things easier, lighter, less complicated, and in some ways, it did. But it also took something with it, something I can't get back now. The feeling of being included, of being expected, of being part of something that continues with you in it. I'm 99 years old, and I tried to disappear without leaving, and I succeeded, more than I meant to. Now, I'm still here, in the same chair, in the same house. But I understand something I didn't before. You don't always need to leave, to be gone. Sometimes, you just have to stop showing up, little by little, until no one notices you're not there anymore. And by then, even you start to feel it, that quiet space where you used to be.